It's going down like this, motherfucker.
Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker, what you mean you ain't gonna let me in this funky joint? Much money I done spent in here, nigga. I knew your mama when she was hoeing. Hump, baby. Shit, bet I do it over time. Say that, nigga. Shit. Bet the bar, off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog needs slop Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks.
Ask you something? I said, can I ask you something? Ain't I'm clean?
For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and...
Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man. Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man. Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man.
This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying. I just left a light. I just left a light in this bitch.
Fuck up. Move the fuck up. Move the fuck back. Fuck up. Move the fuck.
Hey, where are the white women at?
Joe feet. He looked down, seen his feet. The nigga went berserk, killed the monkey, threw the bat out the window, start kicking that bitch in the air.
Say anyway, but I will. The way quantum entanglement works is that you can take two particles, quantum entangle them, and then take those two particles and move them at any distance in the cosmos. And let's just say, for example, if you quantum entangle two electrons and you have them spinning in the same direction, and then you take one of those electrons and you shoot that thing out 100,000 light years from the original. If you then rotate the spin on the one electron, if you modify it so that its spin changes, the quantum entangled electron at any distance will simultaneously in no time switch its rotation also, because they're quantum entangled. So these communication systems are taking advantage of this aspect of quantum mechanics that most people can't wrap their heads around, and this is what they're utilizing. It's just the new level of science that affords us the ability to communicate at any distance instantaneously.
You don't understand. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. It's cool enough just being cool, like I am.
You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? Yes. You're a philosopher? I think very deeply.
Up yours, nigger.
Dance with me. Dance with me. Dance with me.
I mean, TikTok. A lot of the white content creators on TikTok get all of their dances from the black content creators.
What's all that noise?
Damn white boys out there. Most of them is psychopaths and all that. They'll kill your mama's mama and you.
Decent white folk that still don't know they're racist.
What the hell you want here, hunky?
Don't know me, want it.
I don't
dead.
Your lines are still open. Oh shit, you can get it, nigga. You wanna get it?
I think we OD. I think we OD. I think we OD. I think we OD.
The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck about your black ass. The Chinese platform, you already know they don't give a fuck about your black ass. And then
Get your hands off of me, shit!
Look at my word, can't be my equal, I don't know what you heard. Look at my word, look at my word, look at my word, look at my word.
Used to snort cocaine, now I fiend for the check, yeah. Used to snort cocaine, now I fiend for the check, yeah.
Doing styles on them like it's common sense. Doing styles on them like it's common sense. Hopped out the Benz like it's common sense. Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I come. Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I coming. I hit the loot juice, it pulls up in the deuce. I hit the loot juice, it pulls up in the deuce.
I guess you go to the history of European civilizations. 250 years is how long they last before they implode, because of their greed, because of their violence, because of an inability to let others be, including themselves. If they didn't have brown and black people to hate, they would hate themselves.
Do that dance, baby, do that dance, let's work it out.
Badges? We don't need no stinking badges.
Nigga.
Badges? We don't need no stinking badges.
Nigga.
Lean and buck, lean, buck, lean, buck, do a lean and buck, lean and buck, lean, buck, lean, lean and buck, lean, buck, lean and buck, lean, buck, lean.
To the east, to the north, to the west, to the south, above, below, in the middle. This is Big Pontiac, and welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins, and I am that one and only galactic daddy-o welcoming each and every one of you to my galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota to the universe. Well, I guess that is my motherfucking cue to come on in and say happy full moon. Because that's why I came on tonight, because it is the full moon. I wanted to come on a little later. Yeah, because the full moon energies don't peak until like around 6 o'clock this morning. So I wanted to come on just slightly later, but you know I always give up those good vibrations. And so and you know how I start, and so the way I start tonight, we switched it up a little bit because too many niggas is. I must be great publicity for Elliot Ness because, yeah, they been knocking my Elliot Ness out. But this is from my buddy in Bell's Brewery, and well, it says Comstock, Michigan, but it's Kalamazoo and Kalamazoo Stout. And as I was thinking, I'll tell this story again. I can't remember Bell's real name. Or excuse me, his first name. I don't remember his first name. But anyway, I used to, when I was really booming in Kalamazoo, like 85, yeah, I think that's when he started. Is there a date on this motherfucker to see what year? They say 88. So they had to open a little before 88. Yeah, they had to open up because I still had my one car. So they opened up, but this says this recipe. So this recipe's from 88. But I think their amber ale was first. And anyway, so I used to buy a case from it, and I really wanted to learn how to make beer. That's the only thing I cared about. I didn't need a job. And like, this is exactly what I did. So he gave me his application. Now, let me see if it's a paper I don't want. So I took the application from him. And again, keep in mind, I had a case of beer to carry. So, you know, my hands was full. So I took the application and like this and stuffed it in my pocket. He didn't like the way that looked. Because when I did it, you know, he didn't dig it, but he saw that I didn't need the job. I just wanted to learn how to do it. So pop them if you got them. Oh, beating the bottle up. But got the motherfucker off nevertheless. And one of my favorite Killian cups. I can't drink Killian beer, and it's not very strong. I guess all those years I did not know Killian's wasn't very strong. But definitely pop them if you got them. And this is more of a stout. Definitely a lot of chocolates in it for a stout, though. 6.1, I think. It's quite strong. What is the alcohol? 6.0. So, yeah, it's a nice, strong beer with Kalamazoo Stout. So, and tonight, not smoking, but on the herb gummies. So smoke them if you want them. For sure. Smoke them if you want them for sure. So I hope everyone has been well. That's why I used to always give the greeting of wellness to everybody. You know, wellness. And greetings, you know. Because that's what it is. It's greetings. As I said before, when you leave your home, you know, if you're Super Saiyan, and also Acid Blondie. Might chew on this. I don't know. I threw the other one away. I just got done with it. Yeah, so God, I don't know if this is the good lighter or not. I thought the blue one was the good one. No, this is the good one. So because it is the full moon, you know, we definitely want to give thanks. We want to give thanks to our ancestors. We want to give thanks to our guides. Whatever, you know, spiritual thing you're connected to, we give thanks. Because regardless of what this is tonight, it is something that gives off energy. And you can build on it. You can manifest with it. So no matter what you think it is, it definitely can be used. And that's the part of that I don't think some people get. They just think this shit can't be used. It's just finite. Everything is finite, and you can't use none of it. Well, yeah, you can. You can use it. So give myself a nice smudge bath, clear some of this stuff out. I was like, I always deal with a lot of zoolites, and zoolites had lithium, so they all have a healing tribute to them. And it's like one thing they removed, I felt it when it came out. It was like almost a prickly bush or a prickly tree, like it removed. I felt like all of it removed. It was like out of the upper part of my body, this prickly bush just was removed. It was quite interesting. And it didn't really hurt, but I felt it. I was aware of it and I saw it, lifting up out of me, but I was like, wow. But I got scratched by it, no doubt. So whatever that was, I was able to get it released from me. So hoping that for you as well. And the sage is for the grasses. And then we always give love to the woods. Palo Alto is for the woods because we live still in tree houses. Because still, most of the houses everyone lives is in woods. And I mean, do you know how far back it goes that the trees house the people? It's like part of the Popeye Vault talks about at one time it was tree people. It's one of the very few references you can find to this, other than when you get into the Yellow Brick Road, Wizard of Oz, when they show the trees that could talk and could move, because the trees, remember, they was able to throw apples and shit at you. And then you have Lord of the Rings, where you had the walking trees. So, this is how they tell you what once was. The trees had all those abilities. As I've said before, this was once considered tree worlds because trees actually went into space. So in some ways, trees are just as much as they're connected to, the ground, they also have been connected to the heavens as well. And one thing they know is trees can communicate all through the world. Say that's one of my lives, or whatever you want to call it. One of my identities was being born from the trees. And I can talk about this shit like how it felt. Like it's really weird the way we slept, and it's like when you look at how we have family trees. I mean, it's real. That's where they get this from. It was like where your family was really from a certain branch. That's kind of what my experience was when it was Tree World. It was like your family was from that original branch. Like your whole family, everybody you was related to lived in that branch where you lived into. And then this gives into, the water trees and the substance that the tree gives. And what was interesting is the way we actually slept was we just like a cutout. It was almost like a cutout. We went back into the tree and became part of the tree. And I mean, I remember that. I mean, that's what we did when we were done doing, we went back into, there was a cutout for us and we slipped right into the cutout and became, back part of the tree. And there was like games and just open spaces where you could run, but it was like the tree gave all the substance. You never went out of the trees. Everything in the whole society was generated in the trees. Now, we were aware of the ground, and there was a community of beings that lived in the ground, just as the community of beings lived in the heavens of the trees. I've talked about this a few times. And and I don't know if this sounds like a perfect world, but that world ended up in war. I mean, that world ended up in war. Because the ones on the bottom, again, the ones on the bottom, isn't it like a lot of the story? The ones on the bottom resented the ones above them. Despite a flood coming, and the ones in the middle saved the ones on the bottom. Now, the communication between the three different civilizations, even though they all lived, the ones on the bottom really couldn't understand the ones on the top. They really couldn't understand them. It was hard for them to even comprehend. They didn't look at them as gods. They knew they were there because the ones in the middle kind of would tell them about them, but they did not have enough perception to understand the higher ones, where there was perfect communication between the ones living in the middle of the trees and the ones that are living in the top of the trees. And when the flood came, and the ones in the middle had to make room to put another civilization damn near in their level. They didn't quite put it in their level, but there was enough room to give them their own level that was off the ground, and they survived. And once the water receded, there were a lot of minerals and things that was exposed, and unfortunately they started digging into the trees. And mad because they couldn't comprehend the highest beings, knowing they were there. And they would often ask, one of their gripes was, why didn't they take us up there with them? Because they really even couldn't really comprehend. So how could you take someone or something to a place where it can't even comprehend? And I don't talk. It's not pleasant because the war wasn't. I mean, this is kind of what devastated tree land in a way. And the trees were also attacked by the Europeans. I mean, regardless of what you say, what you have to say about any people that were in America, we didn't attack the trees. And I've said many times, you look and you see that everything around you is very new. Very new. There's very only in pockets you see 100-year-old trees. But no, now 100 years ain't that long ago right now. 100 years ago was 1920s. So that's really, in my life, that's not that long ago. I knew plenty of people born in the 1920s. My grandfather was born in 1922, I do believe. So that's not that long ago. Most of the trees is not even that old. And that, again, comes from the Dust Bowl. But let me welcome all the party people that come out to see me. Fully Auto. Yes, definitely Rig Sports. Whoops. Oh, I guess there's a couple other things. And thank you for joining.
You got to have vision.
Let me get back to Rig Sports. I guess that does come up tonight. OTF, what's happening? And I know you definitely got to have.
You got to have vision.
Dr. Sinister. My bitches. Oh, well, we have to know. He says it's bitches. And you said, what? Your what? Your what?
My bitches. You saying you can't control your bitches? What?
Dr. Sinister said he controlling his. And he definitely got.
You got to have vision.
Oh, we will talk about that too. Lorenzo, what's happening?
You got to have vision.
And Jamar, 3224, what's happening?
You got to have vision.
All right, your son's fan, right? That's the other nigga. No, I'm not really a Suns fan. Yeah, like Aiden going to the Blazers remind me of Greg Odom going to the Blazers. It's like, I hope the bad luck and the injury bug don't bite him because big men get hurt up there. Eldridge was a perfect fit. He was a perfect fit, and he wanted to get out of there. So I don't know if Aiden is gonna like playing up there. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna like playing up there or not. Dame in Milwaukee. Dame is little and he's old, and he's a liability on defense because he can't really guard big guards. I mean, that's now. And so where is what is it, Middleton, 22? Where's his shots gonna come from? Dame is ball dominant. Now he will pass the ball, but Dame is ball dominant. And then Holiday. Now they said that Holiday wanted to retire with Milwaukee, but I heard he was about to retire anyway. Did anybody hear about that? So, yeah, Like Chris Paul to the Suns makes no sense. Like he's gonna make a difference. He ain't that one thing we know is when James Harden goes to a team and Chris Paul goes to a team, we know they're not going to win. They are both the lovable losers. So we know, so those teams are not going to win. Any team they go to is not going to win. Aiden is a bust. Yeah. Just like Odin Sam Bowie. Now this is how fixed everything is. They tell you now. I was reading a little more about Sam Bowie today, and they knew. I'm telling you, Sam Bowie was hurt in high school. He was hurt in college. Like the way they pick these cats, they don't really pick it because he wasn't. Sam Bowie wasn't tearing it up to be All American in college. He wasn't tearing it up like that. I think every season he played, he had injuries. They talk about their doctor gave, their doctor gave him a physical where their doctor had to be stupid as hell or told him what they wanted to hear. If you really thought about Bowie, now, Odin was it like, but one thing we see like Rich Smith and Odin, trying to think, some of them big dudes like Rick Smith, like the foot problems. Shabbat his daddy, same way, had them foot problems. And so, yeah, there we go. And so, we'll see. Aiden doesn't. I mean, if you look at the way they destroyed the big man through Steph Curry. How is Aiden really needed? He's not really needed. So, the game has changed where you really don't need a big fella. So yeah, it's like even Bill Walton. People forget he only had a couple good seasons up there. He was hurt most of the time. Bill Walton, again, got hurt in college. So he wasn't really durable. And he missed so much time. To me, for him to be a top 50 all-time player or even top 75, there's no way. It's no way. You're looking, look at the people they put behind him, and their stats blow him away. Bill Walton doesn't, his stats don't really hold up because of the length of his career. So, Ben Nano, Benji, what's happening? And I know you got to have
vision.
Who is the some fans that comes in here? His name is something Valley. I thought it was no, that ain't me. No, I push for the Timberwolves. I'm a Lakers fan and a Timberwolves fan. I've been a Lakers fan since Wilt. Since Wilt Chamberlain. I've been a Lakers fan since then. Yeah. There we go. So, but it's all fixed. It's just I like wearing certain gear. I saw this sweet Laker jacket. And I just didn't buy it. I had spent so much money. I was like, I should get this motherfucker. It was like $80, $90, about a $300 coat, and they just in the middle of the summer. And I was like, shit, it was like late. It was in August. Yeah, so are they going with the big fella? He has to be a foreigner. That's what it seems like. But even just not having that big dude at all, they're gonna have somebody that is quicker and can transition better. And that's been the knock on Aiden. Like that was really the knock on. Like the way they fixed when Boston won their only series, the way they fixed it, and really, I thought rightly so, but the way they fixed it was Gasol couldn't get down court. That's what, if you really look at what it came down to when Kobe and them lost, Gasol was not getting up and down court, which he wasn't doing the whole playoffs. That whole playoffs, he was not getting up and down the court. But to me, that was the difference, is Gasol just could not get up and down the court quick enough. And so he was a disadvantage being in there. And so that's what we see a lot with Aiden. If he don't really hustle back, he's a disadvantage. And, he's not a threat to wear. You know, where is he a threat? Where is he shown that he can consistently hit shots? You know, he's, you know, again, mid range. And he's not that big a threat on defense. I think he's what, one block a game, if that. They're going with the big fella. Yeah, so yeah, they're gonna definitely probably pick a foreigner to come in there, take his place, and he can hit the three. But again, Aiden, you know, that's his Aiden people fault. That's Aiden people fault for not, you know, not training. That's his fault for not training, being consistent with that shot. However you do it, you got to shoot the three. You got to be a threat from everywhere, consistently. And you know, they talk about Bill Laimbeer couldn't play in today's game. I mean, Bill Laimbeer developed the three. People forget that about Bill Laimbeer. Bill Laimbeer developed the 3-point shot. So in today's game, he definitely could D on people, but he could pull you out and shoot a three. People forget that about the bad boy. I need to stand up for a second. See, y'all see me. I am 6 foot 218 of super badness. Damien, what's happening?
Got to have vision.
Djokovic or Freak. Yeah, and that's like if you look at Djokovic games and Bill Laimbeer, very, very similar, where they both can draw you out and shoot. Now Djokovic, again, is very close to what they said Sabonis was before he got hurt. A guy that really could hit a nice mid range, but really could dish the ball. And that's, you know, that's his role, and that's the role they gave him. And you know, what's ridiculous about him, and the same thing could be said about him and Luka, is that they both are just boom, boom, dribble, dribble, like the Charles Barkley. Like there's a video out there you can look up where it shows how many times Luka can take 100 dribbles. They passed this, the Charles Barkley rule. You cannot isolate and just dribble a million times. But Djokovic gets away with it, and Luka is the worst of it. I mean, Luka is really the worst of it. I mean, they didn't let Carmelo do that. Just dribble 1,000 times until you get in the lane. So, but they let them two do it. So if you don't think that's an advantage, that's an advantage. Oh, the Tibet of Judah. Thank you for coming. The tribe of Judah, excuse me. Tribe of Judah.
Got to have vision.
Thank you for coming. Yeah, and I subscribe to Tribe of Judah. I mean, I like people that are thinkers, and yeah, I subscribe to him. So I think he's worth checking out. So he does put out information, and if it's for you, it's for you. That's it. But I enjoy the way he breaks things down. So salute to you, brother. Thank you for coming. This is not gonna take long. What did I go see? Expendables 3. I went to see Expendables 3. 50 Cent is in it, and he really doesn't do a bad job. I know I'm pivoting away, but yeah, he doesn't really do a bad job. He's convincing. Again, he takes more or less what was his name? Wesley Snipes' place. He takes Wesley Snipes' place, but he looked good in it. Like, this is the problem. So it starts with they do a raid into Libya. So the bad guys are into Libya. They're taking over, trying to get some nuclear switches and shit. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna spoil it. Okay, so the whole time the people is in Libya doing their thing, Libya is at least a 30-hour trip on any kind of plane from here. 30-hour plus. All right. That's my first problem. It takes you 30 hours at least to fly to Libya. From what we get, they're in America. They got time to have a little romance story. They got time to go to a bar, beat some ass, get with everybody, get equipment, and go over there in time while they still just taking the shit. Now, there's no way that you could fly from America that quickly. So that's the first problem. So they go over there, they go to Libya, and it's a firefight. They go after the person that stole these nuclear switches. It's just some round balls they call nuclear switches. So they steal the nuclear switches and they're fighting about it. And, you know, they're kind of kicking ass fighting it. And then they kind of eliminate the other guys. But then all of a sudden, the plane that took them there gets knocked out the air. And Sylvester Stallone dies in the plane. That's what they show, okay? So this is how simple this shit is. So we come back. Megan Fox, you know, she's in the thing, and they go back and they got to find the nuclear switches. So they have to find a boat. They pick up another killer on the way. You know, what's his name? The bald head dude, Stenchum, whatever. Yeah, Stenchum. He picks up another killer. They get on this boat. They find out where this boat is. They get on the boat and they fight for the next kind of hour on the damn boat. They dropping bombs and RPGs and everything on the boat. And then at the end, Sylvester Stallone comes back. You know, they get the switches. They sink they sink the ship. Sylvester Stallone doesn't come back with a Black Hawk like helicopter and shoots all the bad guys, the ones they didn't kill. And then they show how they had to find out who the traitor was, and the traitor is Andy Garcia, who's supposed to be their boss, but he's the traitor in the end. So that's pretty much it. Now, if you like a shoot 'em up, that's a shoot 'em up. If you like a shoot 'em up, it's a shoot 'em up. But it's the ridiculousness of being on this damn boat and they're going from deck to deck fighting. And I mean, it's just kind of ridiculous. And like they get caught. When they first get on the boat, they get caught. And then they find out after being there for about a couple hours that if they just piss on this door, the door open and they can all escape. And 50 Cent comes up with that answer. 50 Cent says, the only thing I know is that if that gets wet, it thinks the ship is sinking and it'll open up and we can all escape. That's how easy it was for him to escape. So the screenplay, very weak. It's better than, I don't know. I don't even know if it's better than the other two. I don't know. Wasn't bad. And then tomorrow I'm seeing it'll come to me to Denzel, the movie Denzel's son in. Because it's my baby's birthday right now. It's her birthday right now. She turns the big 52. So, this is turquoise. This is silver. And this is spirit animal necklace. This is my spirit animal necklace. As you see, all the I can take it off and show it. I just like wearing hats. I ain't embarrassed to being bald headed, nigga. I've been bald headed since I was like 5 years old. And so all of these are all of these our crystals are in the shape of animals. Like we've got a frog here in a type of quartz. There's a piece of turquoise. Maybe a bear. I don't know. So, spirit animal. This was my grandmother's. Phew. And you know, I be fucking with the spirit animals, you know, like one of my spirit animals was just like this is, now it's funny. I heard like this funny when people say shit, people don't like respond on where they heard it. I heard a nigga say some shit on one of the shows and he said some Malcolm X shit. And I'm like, okay, that's some Malcolm X shit. But anyway, I'll fuck with the spirit cards. I was gonna say something else and I forgot it that quick. Maybe it'll come back to me. But I'll be fucking. So like the spirit animal came to me, and it's one of my guardians again, you know, guides. But it like came to me as a dressed up horse, like a horse, but he was walking around, and had clothes on like a humanoid, but he was like a horse. So it was interesting how, and it was like, I was like, okay, it was cool and everything. And I was kicking it with him and we had an adventure, but it was interesting. And I was like, oh, okay, that's one of the guides. Oh, and this is Amber. This is Amber. I've showed this before. I think it's got a bug or some shit in it. And amber, again, when I talk about the old trees and ancient times, amber is connected to that. So it's a good tree energy. Amber is a very good tree energy to fuck with. I don't know, something's poking me. So, on the full night, I like everything to be, everything to be sprinkled on a full moon's night. I got to get one of my plates and bring it over here to see if I can send some crystal energy out. I think that's what I did last full moon. So, lions. Oh yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, Lions. Okay, we'll talk about the game tonight. What was interesting is, Hutchinson. Like, check this out. This is a play. I should have made a video about this, but Hutchinson. Did you check this out? First drive of the second half, Hutchinson starts on the right side. All right? He starts on the right side, first down. They put him on, so he starts on the right side. The blocking scheme is to their left. It's like they knew he was lining up over there, so they double teamed him. He came on the right, again, double teamed. How did they do it? Okay, they put him back. Oh, no. Okay, so the third down deep pass play, they put Hutchinson back on the right. And they double teamed him with two tight ends. When they got the big throw over the middle, when they made that drive in the medium of second half. But they put him on the right side into a double team. And then when it was second down, they threw the play away from him. So because he was killing that tackle. Even with double team, he was killing them in the first half. So you could see, and that's again, schemes can put you out of position. Schemes can put you out of position. And we see that all the time. And that's how they fix it again. That's how they fix it, is by scheming it. And I'm saying, when I played college football, again, I don't think it was enough interest for our games to be fixed. But I used to wonder why we blitzed so damn much and we left 3 deep against passing teams. I did not understand that. And even when we won 9 games, we wasn't like sacking motherfuckers like that. Not really. Not the way you would sacrifice your people out there. So it's, alignment schemes. And what would be cool? What would be cool? And if we could, I don't know if I want to get that one away. I thought about it, so it's out there, but I don't know. Hutchinson, a beast. That reminds me of Jared Allen, played for the Vikings and the Chiefs. He played for the Chiefs too. Yeah, Jared Allen used to go at him. I would say Hutchinson is bigger and stronger, but Hutchinson was in Michigan, was going after him. So, and this is the thing. He was going after the Eagles. Let's not say he wasn't going after the Eagles, because he sacked Hurst 2-3 times, at least twice. He sacked Hurst at least twice. Because I think, man, did he get Player of the Week that first week on defense too? Because he sacked Hurst at least twice. So it wasn't like the Eagles, put it in their ass. He was still going after him. So, but yeah, you can see where they gave him that touchdown. The next drive, again, you can see, but Detroit's blocking. And that number 58, Sweeney, maybe is his name, that right tackle, watch him. Because I know a lot of people watch football and they don't watch the linemen. Watch Detroit's right tackle. I think his name is Sweeney. That motherfucker, he constantly hits somebody. I like him. He constantly made contact. And you see how they kind of sway the defense a little away from him. The Packers are weak on defense. I didn't really think Love looked bad. One thing, like most young quarterbacks, everything has to be perfect. A couple of those reads, though, were horrible. But again, we saw the bouncing interception. That ain't his fault. But he had that second interception was a bad read. It was a bad read. Just like golf, that the interception he threw in the beginning of the game where they only got 3. Come on, there was no way. That was like he just threw it to that dude. So we saw how they was doing it, So, but yeah, Detroit's gonna be good. I'm gonna get a Detroit jersey too. I kind of like those jerseys. I really do. I like the Honolulu blue. Told you the first jersey I ever had was Dick Buckus, number 51, and Lynn Barney, number 20. Before it was Billy Sims, before it was Barry. Yeah, it was. It was that, and for my winter coat, and this shit was all from Sears in South Bend, Indiana, where Notre Dame is. And I had the Honolulu blue jacket. No, I got the blue jacket. No, this was in Grand Rapids. This Sears in Grand Rapids. I take that back. We was living in Kalamazoo then. I was older. And the Honolulu blue with the Honolulu blue hat. Yeah, I was, I was stiff as a little boy. I was young too. I was young. I wore the hell out them jerseys. That's why, that nothing that y'all doing that we didn't do. Again, I wore a Dick Buckus jersey as a 6th, 7th grader and Lynn Barney. So they've been selling jerseys for a long time. I've had baseball hats forever. I don't ever, and as I told before, there's a picture of me. I'm 2 or 3, and I think I'm 2 because where we lived. I think I'm 2 because we was still living in Paw Paw, Michigan. And I was at my great-grandfather's house on a stump. He had cut a stump down. I stood on it, took a picture. But before the picture, I remember my mother sent my father to the store to get me a hat. She's like, go get him a hat. And all we found was we went to the local we went to the like 5 and Dime, but it was a pharmacy too. And he found the Smokey the Bear hat. And I've long lost that picture, but it was a picture of me wearing a baseball hat that's Smokey the Bear. So nothing's new. Browns defense. Yeah. Now, again, Deshaun's got to look sharper, or I mean, the fix is like the fix ain't for Deshaun. So I don't know. I say the Browns would never win the Super Bowl. They ain't never made the Super Bowl. The only way the Browns made the Super Bowl was moving to Baltimore. You hear that? The only way the Browns made the Super Bowl was by moving to Baltimore. That's the only way they made the Super Bowl was by moving to Baltimore. So those Cleveland Browns, just like now is this Detroit year? I say again, in my lifetime, I don't think Detroit will ever even make the Super Bowl. Maybe this year they'll prove me wrong. But I doubt it. I don't think they're pushing Detroit through. But maybe. But it was interesting. Did y'all see at the end of the game, they showed the Ford. They showed the Ford. In my book, Interference, they say that Ford bought that team for $1 million. It was the first team bought for $1 million. The Lions was, I think, the first team bought for $1 million. And right now they're worth what? $2 billion? They paid $1 million and got something that turned into $1 billion. The laughing stock of Ford that they just put out there that they didn't want him in the car business. Look at what legacy that dude got. Now that's real generational wealth, where the daughter's name is something Ford and she's married to somebody. $1 million. And the Bengals is even a better story. The Bengals buy-in, I think, they said the AFL buy-in was $1,000. Now, again, the Bears, the buy-in was $100. And that's again in the 20s. But the Bengals, I think it was $1,000. And maybe, I'm wrong. Maybe it's 10, but I thought it was 1,000. But look at the Cincinnati Bengals now. They're $1 billion business. Even if it was 10,000, it's $1 billion business. I'd have to get Interference to find it because they tell the prices when these guys bought these teams. So I don't know. I don't know if they'll ever let them through. Yeah, it's just I don't know. But they let Baltimore through, and that's one of the good things in Baltimore is is the Ravens. And definitely gonna be on the fight tomorrow. I don't know. I might go live during the fight. I don't know. I'm not gonna be home, so I'll see. Cause the internet out there is fucked up. So I don't know. I'll try to see if I can go live during the fight. I don't know. But I'm going to the movie tomorrow, and then the fight on Saturday. Excuse me, the fight's on Saturday. Then the college games. I'm gonna be on the college games showing little highlights and shit. So I'll be up on that. That's incredible. The Bears were in the 20s. Yeah, the Giants. Did I bring the book back out? I got that shit. Yeah, I got the NFL book. It tells all the teams when they come in. Let me grab it. Push back. I need to stand up anyway. Let me grab it. I mean, I'll put this out there. If you're serious about thinking that the NFL is scripted, I mean, if you want you want proof. This book is proof. Now, I ain't saying this dude is the holy grail of all things, but he tells truths in this book. Now, he's one of them. They don't think he's not. He's one of them, but he tells truth in this book. But in this book, and I had the original copy from 69. I think the original book came out in 69. I lost it twice. It's like I was staying the summer with my dad, and the jacket came with me. The book was gone. I got the book back. I was at my dad's house looking at some old shit. But this has a history of when the teams joined. And it's like, see, people forget it was other pro leagues, especially like when you get into Cleveland. Oh, here it is. Here's the history. So the original teams in 1926, 1920, the original teams was Cleveland Indians, Muncie, Indiana Flyers. They only played 1 year. Akron Stags, maybe 26. They only played 1 year. Chicago Cardinals began in 1920. And the Chicago Cardinals are the only team that still exists from the original teams. And you'll see why. Massillon Tigers only lasted 1 year. Columbus Flyers lasted 5 years. Canton Bulldogs ended in 1926. Rochester Kodiaks, 1 year. Now, some of you try to say, I know, and then in 1920, we also had the Rock Island Independence, maybe. And then Jim Thorpe put a team together. I think this is the Orange Indians. I think it was Jim Thorpe's team. Now, what people forget is what we have in 1921. The league started actually in 1920. So we know that the Decatur Stanleys do not start until Nope, I take that back. Yeah, the Decatur Stanleys was from 1920. And then 1921, they became the Chicago Bears. So the first season they were the Stanleys, and then the second season they were Chicago Bears. So technically, yeah, the deal was that they were called a different team, but the same, or George Halas. The Packers don't come in until now for you pure football historians, look up the Duluth Eskimos. 1 year, the Duluth Eskimos with Ernie Nevers, and I want to see if I can still get that Ernie Nevers jersey. Now Ernie Nevers is one of the ones that scored 6 touchdowns. They count one of his games from 1923 to 1927. They count one of his games where he scored 6 touchdowns because it was under the National Football League. But they played something like 80 games 1 year. Can you imagine that? I'm pretty sure I'm not exaggerating. But anyway, that's the earliest team. We had the Kenosha Maroons, 1924. Milwaukee Badgers. We have the Cleveland Rams, 23-5, 21-31. Detroit Lions were actually the Port March Spartans. Nope, I guess Port March Spartans come later. So we have Detroit Lions, 21, 25, 26, and 28. St. Louis Browns, 23. Los Angeles Buccaneers, maybe, 26. So isn't it funny? And then we have Hartford Blues 26, Racine Legion 22 through 28, 26, Providence Steamers, Minnesota Marines. Where are in 1925 the New York Giants. Then we have the Evansville Crimson, Rockville Jeffers, Louisville Cardinals, Toledo Maroons. The Boston Braves started in 1929. We have the Staten Island Stampeders, New York Yankees, Buffalo Bisons for 3 seasons. And then we have the Pittsburgh Pirates, 3 through 40. Pittsburgh Steelers begin in 1940. And this is a fact people don't probably remember. So the Philadelphia Eagles began in 1933. In 1940, the Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers changed franchises. Do you understand that? So the original people that started the Philadelphia Eagles, the original people that started the Philadelphia Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers traded franchises in 1940. So the Steelers became the Eagles became the Steelers. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Before the Detroit Lions was the Portsmouth Spartans, 1930 to 1933. And the Lions don't officially join the NFL till 1934. The Giants are not in the NFL until 1934. We had the Cincinnati Reds, the Boston Redskins turn into the Boston Redskins started in 1932. They moved to Washington in 1937. Baltimore Colts started in 1952 as the Dallas Texans, 52-53, and then they moved to Baltimore. New York Bulldogs was another team for 1 year. Okay, now there was another league. Where it was the Cleveland Browns, it was the Cleveland Rams, Cleveland Browns, 49ers, and was it the Broncos? But it was another league. And this league must have started in 1950. And this is, they absorbed these teams. They didn't come into the league until later. I think most of these teams, the 49ers, I think they didn't come in. Well, they say they came in the league then, but this is when they're established. But I don't know if they were playing. Maybe they did. But they dominated another league. And then you had the Dallas Cowboys coming in. Dallas Cowboys only a year older than me, 63 years. You have the Cardinals moved to St. Louis in 1960 and later moved to St. Louis. Or they moved to St. Louis to Arizona out to where they are now. New Orleans Saints started in 66. Now the Vikings were supposed to be in the AFL. And the NFL went in there and gave them bread. They gave them a low price to join the. Now that's the Vikings lick is a hell of a lick because it was, what did they say? It was a low number. It was a low number because, like, if you come here and you look at where our spoon is, which is they call the sculpture garden, the big cherry and spoon. There's a stadium there. That stadium was supposed to be. Now this is the Chicago Cardinals. While the Cardinals went to St. Louis, it was over like $200. Like St. Louis bid something like $200 more to get them to go to St. Louis because they was gonna come from Chicago and come here, and they was gonna build a stadium over there. So I caught that story. So the Vikings was supposed to